I woke up in the morning to see my boyfriend engagement pictures all over the internet. This beautiful lady, her name is Cindy, and this is her story. I'm 27 years old. In 2019, I met a guy on Facebook and we started chatting. After some months, he came over to my elder sister's house to see me for the first time. When I saw him, I loved him and he loves me too. A month after his visit, I also visited him, and that was when we started dating officially. He stays in a face me I face you compound. I was not worried about that because he's a good man and I love him so much. He's a technician that is just managing himself. I normally sneak over to his house occasionally to visit him because I came from a Christian home and boyfriends were not allowed. 1 year into our relationship, an opportunity came for me to travel to Saudi Arabia for work, so I told my boyfriend about it. He was happy for me and was ready to support me. He told me he had ₦1 million in his account, but because our relationship was a hidden one, I could not accept the money from him. So I allowed my family to source for the money. By the grace of God, I was able to travel. The first 2 months I got to Saudi Arabia, things were not easy for me. I had no job. I was just spending the money I traveled with. In fact, I became broke until I met one young man that was supporting me. He was also helping me to look for a job. I told the guy about my boyfriend. I also told my boyfriend about it, but he advised me to be careful with the guy. I told my boyfriend that I would be careful. I also promised him that I was never going to cheat on him. But some days later, something happened. The guy invited me over to his house. When I got there, he gave me a drink. While I was still taking the drink, I slept off. This guy did the do with me without my consent. When I woke up and noticed what has happened, I was not happy about it. I felt I betrayed my boyfriend, so I told him about it. My boyfriend was not happy at all. This guy did not talk to me for weeks. But with constant begging, he told me he has forgiven me. After a month, I found out that I was pregnant. I told my boyfriend about it. He asked me to remove it. I told the guy about it. He wanted me to keep it. But because of the love I had for my boyfriend, I had to obey my boyfriend. Last year, my boyfriend and I were able to put some funds together. So he came to Saudi Arabia to visit me. We spent some months together before he traveled back. But the truth is that ever since my boyfriend visited me and left, he changed. Each time we have a misunderstanding, my boyfriend will remind me how I cheated on him. He will remind me how I got pregnant for another man. When I complained, he promised to change, but never changed. He kept doing the same thing. 2 weeks ago, I was having a discussion with my boyfriend. So I told him that I will soon be returning back home so that we can start a business together and start our lives. This guy told me that he has nothing to start with me. He said that I mean nothing to him. I thought he was joking. On the 15th of February 2025, after the Valentine, I woke up in the morning to see my boyfriend engagement picture